Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an M41 Hmc. It's a tier 5 American SPG. Now the entry level for the American line is located on the east spawn of Airfield, and it's under the command of Marybanks. And this was a game back in 2018 when she was with FILO. Okay, game started. Now the M41 Hmc has a 155mm howitzer which is capable of doing 550 alpha, penetrating 38mm of armour. Basically it's the same gun that you will find on an M44 in terms of, well, not the same gun exactly, but it's got the same capability, 550 alpha. Well, Mary's just waiting for the enemy to come in sight before she starts aiming. I always like to pre-aim in some of these games so that you can spot the enemy, get an early spot, an early shot in on them. There's nearly always somebody appear in Temple Mount around grid square J5. If not there, G5 is also a good option. And lo and behold, somebody has appeared in J5, G5 rather. It's a T80. Well, Mary's still not aiming. Oh, she is now. She's used her right hand mouse button on the minimap and selected the Kehoe. He's been killed. So she's now selecting a Cromwell B, and he's decided to ram, kill and shoot an A20 on our team. Now Mary fired snapshot there. She wasn't fully dialed in on the Cromwell B, and the Cromwell B was in motion. It's a tier 6 game. She's a tier 5 Arty, so she is going to earn extra XP, but she does need to be careful with her targets. Okay, the enemy are making a definite assault from the north, and our heavies haven't moved up to the normal positions. In fact, there hasn't been the usual dispersal, and we're already 5 tanks down, and the enemy have only lost 2. Here's that Cromwell again. She's following him. Work out where he's first going to appear. He's going to appear around that corner, so you line up the shot on that corner. That's it. Dial in, and rounds out. Good hit. Wipe the Cromwell out. Always anticipate what the enemy are going to do. If the enemy are trying to get at some of our guys, they're obviously going to come around a corner to shoot at them, and you can line the shots up on the corner where you expect them to appear when they start firing at our guys. They'll stop their tank to shoot, and that's when you hit them hard. Okay, a T150 was seen near the heavy alley, but nobody's appeared yet. We've got a KV2 near the cap area, a KV1 on the other side, and he spotted a Panzer Mark 4H. Mary's spotted him as well. She's turned, and she's now got a green line. She's dialing in on target. Now, when you've got a target like that, try and aim ahead of them, not actually on them, because if you're constantly turning your aim to adjust for his movement, then it will obviously take time for you to dial in, and you'll find it very difficult to dial in. But if you aim ahead of their track and dial in, and then the moment they stop, or if they drive straight through the path or near the path where you're going, you can shoot at them and get a shot on target. It's a case of anticipating what the enemy is going to do and then aiming ahead of their path to actually take them out. Unfortunately, Mary's team are still doing badly because they're 2 tanks down on the enemy, but the enemy are losing tanks as well. There goes another one, the Hetzer. Okay, that T150 is up on top of the rocks. Mary's dialing in. Yeah, she's got this. Let it dial in. Rounds out. Oh, and she got a direct hit. The shell disappeared without an explosion, indication that there was a direct hit on target. Up on Temple Mount, we've spotted a Dicamax. Now, the reload time for this gun is around about 20 seconds, if I recall. 21 seconds or thereabouts. She's loaded. She's almost fully dialed in. Rounds out on the Dicamax. Oh, good shot. It penetrated. She got the full whack on that one. Dicamax has got fairly weak armour, but it is also an open-top self-propelled gun, even though it's technically a tank destroyer. It is a self-propelled gun. A T150, you can see he's lost half his hit points now. Some of that's down to Mary. She's lining up a shot, anticipating he's going to come around the corner, which is good. Work out where the enemy's going to come around. Our KV2's moving up. Now, if the KV2 fires, the T150 is going to want to come around the corner and try and shoot her. Mary can't get a shot at that angle there. And all to the south, we've got a T14 turn up. That's a premium American heavy tank. Tier 5. She's got no shot because it's a red line. So something is interfering with the shot. And I think that might be the rocks near where Mary's shooting from. And he's gone down anyway. Always look for that red line. If you get a red line, you can't shoot. Well, Mary could go back to the T150. And she has. And, oh, he's lost some hit points to the KV2. And Marybanks might have a shot here. Let it dial in. Oh, the KV2 gets the... Oh, and Marybanks' shot actually hit the ass end of that T150. So she would have got the kill if only she fired a split second earlier. But it wasn't fully dialed in. So she quite rightly held her fire until she was ready. KV2 takes the kill, but... Well, Mary's got 2 kills herself anyway, so... Let's see how it goes on. Oh, Marder 38T. Over on the north of the runway, being attacked by our Lux. Unfortunately, the Lux dies, but so does the Marder. The Marder was taken out by our T-34-85. Now, there's only 3 enemies left. It's turned tables. We were 2 down, now we're 2 up. The only tanks remaining are a Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG, which is short range and basically a Valentine, the Largo, which is a Swedish Tier 4 medium, and an M5A1 Stuart, which is an American light tank. Now, we don't know where any of these guys are at the moment. I'm hoping that T-34-85 is going to start moving through the north end of the map, see if he can find them. Best thing for him to do is to move from rock to rock, cover to cover, until he actually spots something. Okay, Mary's following him. Now, another trick that I use is to aim ahead of the path of the T-34-85, only as far as he can see with his own eyes. So what his view range is, if it's say 3 squares or 4 squares, that's how far ahead of him you aim, because that's where he's going to spot somebody. And the moment he spots someone, that's when you can open fire on them. If you're aiming too far ahead, as Mary is at the moment, she's aiming right over in the other corner of the map, hoping to get a shot on one of them. And unfortunately, that T-34-85 is not going to spot them. And there's the M5A1. He's sitting behind the cap and looks like he's an AFK. And our teammates are moving in. I think they're going to get the kill on him. Mary's dialing in on target. She's going to go for it. Rounds out. Oh, splash kill. The shell landed right next door to him, so Marybanks has got 3 kills. So there's only 1 enemy remaining. It's that Largo. And he was actually in the center of the map, and he's now headed towards his own cap. Mary's dialing in the aim on him. You see, he's on the move, so she's having to adjust her aim as he moves. But he goes down to a shot from the KV2, a big derp. And that's a victory. Now, Mary could have actually platooned with the KV2 or the Achilles. They both had at least 3 kills, but I don't think Mary actually had time to do that. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was only a second-class tanker for Marybanks in the M41 Hmc, but she did get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. She managed to get 6, and of course 3 kills. But she says still no ace. Well, yes, she's got the technique though. She just needs to refine her technique a little bit more. You can see that this game took place on the 20th of April 2018. It was just after the HD maps came in, the 1.0.0.3 update. So it was very shortly after we had the new HD maps online. But Mary was still practicing. So at this stage, this is just an early battle. Let's have a look at team score and see where she came. Well, the highest scorer in the game was the Achilles with 1,814 hit points. Then came the KV2 with 1,430. And the third highest damage actually was on the enemy team. It was their bishop, did 1,203 hit points. Marybanks came fifth on damage. Fourth on damage. Get that right. 858 hit points, which is not bad at all. Considering Marybanks at the time was quite a new player. New player in terms of to Arty. She had been in the game for some time, but never really tried Arty in a major way. When it came to kills, she was actually in joint second place. The top scorer was the Achilles with 5 kills, 3 kills for the KV2. Marybanks, the Cromwell B on the enemy team, the one that Marybanks took out. And then after that, it was the Dickomax and the Bishop, both with 2 kills each. When it came to base XP, it was the Achilles who did the best with 1,025. He was the only player to get over 1,000 base. KV2 did 761, the Striv M42 did 538, but Marybanks was just behind him with 528. So you can see she is doing rather well. She fired 6 shots in that game, got 3 direct hits and 3 penetrations, 1 splash. Damage of 858 hit points, of which 658 were at more than 300 meters. I think the close shot was actually the Cromwell, who was only a short distance away, or less than 300 meters away, when she whacked him. 4 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 1 stun caused, but no stun assist. On a premium count, she earned 22,698 credits, and after resupply of ammunition, took away 19,668 credits profit. She received 792 XP, and there was no multipliers. That's all she took away on this occasion. Now we're going to be doing a series of replays from Marybanks, both Arty and tank replays, so you can see gradually over time. It's been what, year and a half since this video, so you'll be able to see how she's actually improved a great deal, and she's coming on well. We've actually had some replays from Marybanks before. In fact, there was one battle where she was in an IS-7 capping away like mad, and the enemy managed to bounce rounds off her. Instead of using HE to reset the cap, they actually tried to penetrate her, failed, and she won the map by capping out. So very well done on that occasion. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel and stick around and watch more Marybanks videos coming up soon. Thanks for watching.